it was one of those days I had everyone come to the mini ramp and everyone's blowing me away and I'm skating and they're like, let's go to Bowman's. Let's go to Bowman's. Gentry's coming in town or something like that. They had already known, you know?
Yeah.
And because I was just getting back into skating, I had no clue who fucking Chris Gentry was, you know? But so Chris Gentry came to El Paso because he was on his way to California from Houston, which goes along with our turning pro in Texas, being pro in Texas, what we had, you know, what they had to go through. He was on his way to Vision. He was going to the Vision factory to get his hookup, all his full flow shit. He was sponsored, you know, full ride Vision. And so he stopped in El Paso, you know, and went out to California. When he came back, I'm not bullshitting. He had Vision boxers. He had boxers that said Vision Streetwear. He had socks that said Vision Streetwear. He had stacks of decks, dude. Everything, wheels, shoes, everything Vision. The whole back of his truck was just stocked with shit. And so that he had come back and we were at Bowman's at partying and everybody's doing the thing. And they were like, let's go to Mountain Shadow Lakes. Cause I had heard the rumors of the contest that was going to go down. And so it was a really fucked up day, windy day. And, and everyone just got in the car and they're like, let's go out there. And I think I had a board with me, but there was no way. I don't like skating in the wind, first off, but I hadn't been on a vert ramp 2 fucking years. You know what I mean? So we all go all the way out to Mountain Shadow Lakes, which is really fucking far from the west side of El Paso. And when you get out there, it's really flat. So the wind's blowing like 40-mile-an-hour winds just, and there's dust everywhere. And I can't even conceive why anybody wants to skate. I did skate the mini ramp that was next to the vert ramp because I could, because it was easy. But anywho, so the wind's kicking up and Gentry's, you know, does a couple runs, he does his thing, he's doing his thing, and the wind is fucking blowing. And so I was on the very far right side of it was like 44 feet wide, I believe, 44-foot wide vert ramp. And I was on the very far right side. Gentry was on the far left end, the other end of the ramp on this side. Dropped in through a 540 at least like 6 feet up, and the wind caught him and it carried him 40 feet across the vert ramp, just about to like within 4 feet of the edge, puts it down, and then pops up right in front of me. You know, I'm on that other platform with my my eyes like this, my mouth open. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and he just looks at me and smiles and he's like, yeah. And then it becomes this game. What can I do in the wind that's going to carry me farthest across the ramp? You know what I mean? So this dude is just hucking these 540s purposely in the wind to carry him. I don't know. It was kind of ridiculous in a sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, he was probably what, 17, maybe, I think, maybe 18. He was, and just out of, I'd only seen 540s done up until that time on video. I mean, yeah, like PAL demo, like when I skated with Lance and Cab, Lance was doing them, you know. But that kind of, I don't know, to see it in that kind of setting where there's just like wind and chaos and I'm just like fighting to stay on the platform, and he's got this smile on his face and his helmet, and he's just using it to his advantage or fun, you know, grab a fucking frontside nose bone and just float and barely land on the end of the ramp. It was psychotic, man. It was definitely a show that, yeah, I know he remembers because you talked to him about it, right?
Yeah, I messaged with him and he said he remembers and he's going to look for some footage. And I think you knew what Ryman, I can't ever say his last name.
Guys,
Yeah, I think you said he might have some pictures too.
yeah, Delgado might have it from his dad's because he always carried his dad's VHS. It was one of those cameras where you could film us skating and then take it out and put it in the VCR and watch it. You know, one of those big clunky
Yeah.
fucking cameras.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a VCR, man. Yeah.
Because
And
that was taken too, so that it might be on that.
yeah,
But yeah, and
that's
that was
awesome.
an amazing day.
Yeah,
And,
that's awesome.
you know, and then that was practice for the contest where Stevie Ray, the last time anybody saw Stevie Ray.
Yeah, that's history too. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were practicing for the contest Shadow Lakes where Stevie Ray played, and that was the last time. He died in Pennsylvania after that concert. You know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah.
saw Stevie Ray at Mount Shadow Lakes, that was the last time
Yeah,
in Texas, at least.
that's fascinating because
Which is all like weird, crazy history that like.
yeah, and it's like history that there's like we didn't have phones or and, these days everybody's got their phones to take pictures of everything. I've heard that there's like nothing left. The
Yeah.
lakes are gone, and there's just like a few like kind of like roads, like sort of like a few like kind of ghosty kind
Oh
of
yeah,
roads that's it, man. There's no ramp, there's no lakes, there's no nothing.